Okay, so today, what we're going to do is the same thing that the rest of your class is working on in there. And we're just going to kind of review what you just did for your little starter problems, but we're going to kind of do it in a different way. I'm learning this new thing. If you ever called of like an open array model, have you ever heard of something called that? Okay, well it's like multiplication, but it's like using a box. And sometimes it helps people. So I'm going to do one, a really simple one, and y'all are going to kind of watch it and talk through it with me, and then y'all are going to try one too. And then we're going to kind of build up to like the 3 digits like you're doing in your class. So the first one, we're just going to do a really simple one. Let's do like this. Let's say we have 41 times 41. Now, when we look at this and when you start multiplying it out like the old way, you know, if you're going to this, you normally say like 1 times 1 is 1. What do we normally say? 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 4 is 4. But when we look at this 4, what is the value of that 4 really? What does that 4 stand for? It's in the tens place, so is it 4 or is it 40?
40.
It's 40. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw out a box. And since we have 2 by 2 digits, your box is going to look like this. You just draw out 4. Because you're going to have 4, 1, 4, 1. So what you do is you're going to split up your numbers. So instead of saying 4 and 1, we're going to say 40 and 1. Does that make sense?
We did that. Yeah.
Because
It said like 40 times.
You've already done it? Okay, so watch. It's going to be the same thing. I picked this one because it's easier. So then we're going to have 40 here and 1 here, right? 41 times 41 is 41. So then you just fill in the boxes. What is 40 times 40?
80. 100.
160. Basically, y'all know this. Y'all know the little trick in your head for that? You say 4 times 4 is 16, and then how many zeros are there?
2.
So you add 2 zeros. It's like a little shortcut. And then 1,600. So what's 40 times 1? 40. Then right here you have 40 times 1. 40. And then you have 1 times 1 is 1. So now you've got your little box, you've done your multiplication. Now what you do is you fill it in. So, you add once you filled your box in. So you have 1,600 plus 40 plus 40 plus 1, right? And this one's a bit easier problem. You could say like 1,600 plus, if you can look at this, what is this? 40 plus 40 plus 1 is 81. So if you can in your head say 1,600 plus 81, you can write that too. But we're going to do it like this just so you can see all the steps. So you have 1, that's right, Cadavian. 4 and 4 is 8.
6 and 1.
6 and 1. So what is your answer?
6,181.
Work it out on your paper, on your whiteboards the old way and see if you get this. And then we're going to try a problem like this.
Come on, do like that.
Yeah, I want you to work 41 times 41. The old way, your shortcut method, the way you normally do, just to double check to make sure we did it right.
Come on, like that.
What is the old way? The shortcut way.
41 times 41.
But it's okay if you don't finish because some are probably almost done. Double check. Did you get it, Ori? Great. So we know that way works, don't we? All right, I'm going to give y'all a problem now, and I want you to work it out. But I'm going to try to add a little something to it, and I'll help set it up for y'all.
Don't do it that way. It's going to get ruined.
All right. What do you think about, let's try this problem. Let's say, y'all are going to work this one out. 150 times 16. We're going to kind of set it up as we go.
Yeah.
Huh?
Let me wipe it off.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I not use your tape? Here. Use that. I thought I passed out paper towels. Here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Once you get it wiped off, set up 150 times 16. How do you think we're going to do that? It's not going to be 2 by 2. It's going to be, the new way. How do you think our box is going to be?
4.
How many are we going to have going down if we have 3?
3 by 2.
We're going to have 3 by 2. Who said that?
Matthew.
Great. So we're going to kind of do it like this, aren't we? Do you see that? Your first number is going to go down, and your second number goes across. So what are we gonna do? Are we gonna write a 1 right here? Or are we gonna write what?
1, 0, 100. No.
100. I like that because that 1 is in the hundreds place, right? So we don't, that's not worth 1, it's worth 100 or something, right? So what do we put right here for this?
50.
50. And then what do we put in the third box?
0.
0. What about across the top?
6.
Well, not a 1.
Times.
10 times.
We're going to put a 10 because if this was a 0, it would be a 10. It's in the tens place, isn't it? So we're going to put a 10
And a
and then a 6. So now how do you fill in your boxes?
Times 100.
I got the 100 from taking this 1 right here and saying that's in the 100 spot. Like you say 150. So 150. And then like this is a 0, so it works out great. We can just stick a 0 right there. But if this was a 2 or 3, then we just put 2 or 3 on there. So try to work this out.
We add it all together.
Yes. You might have to make your box a little bigger, okay? Okay. So you know what you're doing? You're going to say 100 times 10. And what's our little shortcut for 100 times 10? You can say 1 times 1 is 5. And then how many zeros are there?
3.
There's 3. So you put a 1 and 3 zeros. That's our little shortcut for multiplying numbers by 10.
2 times 6.
When y'all kind of get an answer, look at it. You got an answer? Okay. That's good. So now you're going to say 50 times 6. What can you say 6 times 5 is? Maybe you have that right.
5.
You have, right here you're saying 50 times 10 is what? You say 5 times 1 is 5, and then add 2 zeros. So 500. You had it right. So do the same thing right here. 6 times 5 is 30, and you have to add your extra 0.
3.
And then 0 times 10 is, and 0 times 6 is. Right, so now you just add up your numbers. You don't have to worry about adding the zeros because they're 0. So add 1,000, 600, 500, and 300. All right, good. Oh, look, you're all getting an answer. Somebody, what do we fill in right here?
1,000.
1,000.
Right.
What about going down? What is 50 times 10?
500.
500. And then we know anything comes 0 is 0, so we can just stick that in there. What's 100 times 6?
600.
And what is 50 times 6?
300.
And when you add these 4 up, you got,
2,400.
that's the right answer. Did you get that, Justin?
How y'all get 24?
Look, did you get your box to look like this?
Yeah.
You did? So now we add them up. Did you have those same numbers?
Wait,
Yeah.
I don't think he carried his.
Yeah, you didn't carry his 1.
Yeah.
Right here, you mean?
Oh, that's
He got 11, 12, 13, 14.
Yeah.
Put your 4, and then you have to add a 1 to your thousandths place. So 2,400. All right, now I want to see, I'm going to give y'all just a little bit bigger of a problem.
No.
And it's going to be kind of like an exit ticket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a sheet of paper. And you're going to draw, did y'all bring your pencils down here?
Yes.
So what you're going to do, these have boxes because I thought I was going to do a lot of 2 by 2 to introduce it, but y'all seem to get this already, which is bigger than 2 by 2. So, and I think y'all said y'all seen it before. So I'm just going to give it to you, and you can either make this box the size you want it, or you can do it on the back, whatever you want to do. And I'm going to give you a few problems, and I'm going to kind of come around and help you. So, let's see. The first problem is going to be, we're going to kind of build a little bit. We're going to do a 3 by 3. Yeah, you probably don't want to use the back so you have enough room because I originally thought you were going to do smaller numbers, but we're going to do bigger numbers. So, let's give you, did you say you can see the answers?
Do you have to do the box?
Yeah. 543 times 99. 170 times 267. I'm gonna give you one more. We already did that one. Okay, y'all work on those three. You're probably gonna have to use the back of your paper. That's what I've already been saying, because see, those numbers have 3 digits and these boxes only go to 2. So just draw a box, you know, how we did it on our drum race boards.
So wait, if I do like this,
It's
do I
huge.
put 90?
What do you mean? Well, why do you think you got the same thing?
Because it's 99.
But look, you wrote a 9, you didn't put a 90.
Wait, is we gonna take a test on this in the classroom?
This is just a review.
Oh.
But you are going to be tested on the multiplication. The process is just a new way to learn it.
What's 9 times 4?
Figure that out. Alright, let's look. I'm noticing you've all done the same thing. When we're making our box right here, look. We're making our box for this first one. We can't put 5, 4, 3. Why not? It's 543. So on top, you can't put 99, and you all put 99. Look, we have to put what? 90. You have to kind of do what's called expanded form. You have to expand the whole number out.
Well, we can leave the right side.
Yeah, leave the right side, just fix this side where it's multiplied by 90.
Wait, I can beat this.
Yeah, where you multiply by 9, you're good. You just gotta fix this side. So do you remember the shortcut? 5 times 9 is what?
45.
And then how many zeros going in? 3. So 45 and 3 zeros. 45,000. You got it?
Okay, 4 times 1.
Y'all try to get at least number 1 and 2 done.
36.
I know it's almost time to leave, but
Did it?
it's getting close.
To my leave from school?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh. Oh, nice.
Don't put you said name.
I said geese.
Hey, are you doing your work?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do y'all kind of understand how this works?
Yes, ma'am. I think I'm in the memory of it now.
As long as you remember to expand it, it's really a lot easier because you have like even numbers. It's not that hard to say 500 times 90, is it? 9 times 5 is 45 and add 3 zeros. 45,000. Right? And sometimes it gets hard to like multiply and I'm carrying this 1 over here and adding up these numbers and add my zeros on the end. This way you just have to be able to multiply basic facts and then add numbers at the end. You're not doing it all at once. You want me to show you a little trick that might be easier?
Yeah.
Right here, if you line these up, why don't you add these 3 together and add those 3 together? And then you only have to add 2. Does that make sense? It might help you.
Is it like this one?
You have 200 times 100. So you say 2 times 1 is 2 with 4 zeros. Wait, now, you put a 67. You can't put, look, see how we took 99? We had to break it 99. So what's that box on number 2 going to look like? Down here, and put it's 200 right here. And put 60 right here. 7. See, each place value gets their own box. Does that make sense?
Okay, what's the second problem?
Don't, yeah, here, remember when you set it up? Look, what are we going to have on number 2? That's different than this one.
You're gonna have more like little line things.
Yeah, because why? This only has 2 digits and this one has
3.
3. So we're going to have it set up like this. Look, 170. and 267. Each place value has its own spot. You getting there? I'm sorry. Thank you.
So we gonna put about 5 zeros on the first one.
Are you on number 2?
Mm-hmm.
You put 5 zeros?
Yeah, because 1, 2, 3, 4.
You put 5 zeros?
Yeah. Put 4.
Whoa.
2 times 1 is 2, and then how many zeros?
4.
Yes, good job.
2,
So what's that number?
20,000.
20,000. So your comma's not in the right spot, which it doesn't really matter for this, but you need to know that. 53. Ah, you got it right. Good job. Excellent. All right, try to do number 2. We're trying to work number 2. It's going to even be harder.
What are you doing? Can we do number 3?
I would like, if you have time to do number 3, I'd like for you to start it at least. Remember, look at the box. We've already kind of drawn a little box up there. See how the box is bigger for number 2? So you may have to draw like a little bit bigger square. Make sure I don't need to erase. So now in your class, like the slip that you just did before you all came down here, if you didn't get a lot of those right, or if you were getting confused, or you messed up, well, you were getting confused, Justin? Is that what you said? Well, did you get confused working it out that way? Because you got the answer. So maybe you can start using that in your class.
We did this like at the beginning of the year.
Y'all learned it?
No.
Did any of you want to use it?
It was at the beginning where we were shoving the numbers.
Do any of you like this way?
Yes.
Yes. And sometimes if you get into your 4 by 3 digits, you can still do this. But like I was telling Caleb, it may be easier then to add up. Look at this real quick. Time out, look real quick. Or look. It may be easier, like when you get all your numbers in here, instead of like making a huge long list of 9 different numbers, you could add up these 3 and get a number. And these 3 and get a number, and these 3 and get a number.
Then
And then you only add the bottom 3, so you're not adding like 9 numbers at a time. Does that make sense? You only have to do 3 at a time. So it makes it easier to not make a mistake when you're adding. You can do it the long way too, but it just might, it helped Caleb. Didn't it help you out to do that some? Yeah. Alright, what you gonna do? You set that up. Well, I guess we already did it, but good job. Come on, keep working. I think you can finish that one before the bell rings.
Why you got joggers?
You said 2 times 1 is 2 and 4 zeros. Good. Wait. 1 times 6 is 6. And how many zeros going into that?
3.
2, 3. Okay. Perfect. Keep going.
I'm done. I'm gonna go to number 3.
I wish you would. I will show Miss Guy and she'll be so proud of you for doing it.
Okay.
What'd you get for your answer?
I'm already on number 3.
So you got 4, 4, 2, 0, 0. Okay, I'll see if that's the right answer. Keep going. Oh, you're a little off. But keep going with number 3. We'll check it and see where you messed up.
What?
You're close.
Can you come see if the shed is used? Wrong.
What?
What number is, what's this one?
Jackson.
Yeah, that's good.
This one?
Where's the answer? Right here? 27, 2, 6, 8. Yes. Look, is this your 2 plus 1? Yeah.
You can check and see if mine.
Yes. Where are you at? Where's number 2? Is this number the second one?
Something happened.
What's the digit?
Ooh, a picture.
Oh, it just went off. It's still recording.
So this is
It's still going.
Oh, hey.
You're done?
Yeah.
So tell Ori the answer you got for number 2.
3,000.
Don't tell me number 3.
400. 45.
Damien. 45,390. So this one? So you probably added some numbers wrong. So maybe you should try to do what we were talking about. Add these two, then add these
Did
two,
you finish?
then add those two.
Almost.
Does that make sense? What'd you get for this one? 37,000. That one's correct. So you clearly understand it because you got both of these. So just try to re-add that one.
What grade do you want to choose? What grade do you
Are you done with this? You
Open
didn't.
it.
You didn't get this one quite right.
Oh, well, I want to check.
Well, it's all right. I just checked it.
Okay,
So,
let's
rework.
redo it.
Rework. Hey, write your name at the tops of these papers. Clean off your board, and would you please throw away the paper towels we use? You're doing great. Keep going. Keep going. Where?
That's just.
You mean for number 3?
That's tight.
The last one, 154 times 242? Yes. Yes. So let's do this. That's fine. You got it right. So that's 3, and this was number 1. All right. Put your name on this. I think that's all we've got time to do.
Is that what I said?
You gonna show me that video?
What number is that?
2.
170 times 267. The answer is 45,390. So you may have an error up here somewhere. So we'll just write your name on it, and we'll try to look back at it if we come back to these. Okay? Did you finish? Did you put your name on it? Great job. Are you done?
Miss Hughes, is
Where
your
are you
teacher
at?
gonna see this?
All right, you've missed out. The answer is 45,390. So you've made a careless mistake in math somewhere right here, probably. You've almost got it.
Miss Hughes, are you gonna show your teacher?
Yeah, it's a
You
great
gonna show me
thing.
the guy? Is you gonna show me the guy?